All right, y'all, what's going on? I'm here for Black Ink Crew New York. This is season 6, episode 16. It starts off at 113th. They're talking about, Ted's shoe release party and how Ted he met, his quota. And they also talk about Walt's behavior and how they just didn't understand like what his deal was. And Ted is like, listen, sees me and you might have to go over to where he's at and, talk to him and blase blase. Sky, she comes in with this revelation that she's ready to have a baby. And I'm just like, really? Like, is this a joke? Can you get your relationship right with your fucking son first before you sit up here and talk about having a new baby or whatever? I mean, granted, you and the other son, y'all good and everything, but you and Genesis, y'all still ain't got y'all shit right, and you talking about bringing another kid into the world, and I cannot. I can't even take this shit seriously. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, moving right along. So then we, have Donna, Sky, Bay, and Kit. They come to visit her or whatever to see, how she's doing and everything. And, Donna is pretty much telling them the whole rundown about her surgery and how they had to take her one of her fallopian tubes out and like a piece of her uterus or whatever. And how Mo has been very supportive of her, and he asked her to move in with him and everything. So then we have Ted and C's. They are, they're in the car, and they FaceTime Walt to find out where he living at, what's his address and everything. And Walt, he tells them the address or whatever. And C's and Ted, they're saying to each other like, yo, that where's that at? Like, that sound like the projects, like, what's going on here? So they, pull up to the building or whatever, and they see that Walt is back in the projects, and, they come to the, they go upstairs or whatever, and, he's like, yeah, I'm, renting, Walt is like, yeah, I'm renting the room out here and everything. And they like, what you mean renting a room? Why are you back out here in the projects anyway? You know what I'm saying? And because they thought that he lived in Jersey, in a house in Jersey or whatever. And he lets them know like, yeah, I had to leave my crib in Jersey and everything. Y'all know I ain't been always the best with money. My credit has been bad or whatever. And pretty much he had to send his kids back to Illinois with their mom and everything. And so, they just sitting there like, yo, like, why you ain't tell us that you was going through all of this? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could talk to us or whatever. And Walt, he starts to break down, and he's like, it isn't easy for him to just come to them about what he's going through. And he kept it away from them because he didn't want them to see him like this, you know what I mean? And I just felt so bad for Walt when he was talking about this and everything. And like I said, Walt is definitely one of the more likable people on this show. So to see him wilding out like that last week, I was like, yeah, like I said, I was disappointed in him, but to find out why, and just hearing about, what he going through, and we know how he is about his kids and everything. I really felt bad for him, And Ted, he's like, well, do you think drinking is helping the situation? You know what I'm saying? And Walt is like, I mean, yeah, I drink more than usual, but I ain't out here doing like no other, dumb shit or whatever. And C's is like, you probably gonna have to chill on the drinking for a minute, And he apologizes to them about how he handled what he was going through and everything, And yeah, Walt, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right, And don't be holding everything in all the time. You got C's and Ted there or whatever. Them are the two people that you've known. I mean, oh shit too, but he be having his own stuff. But C's and Ted are two of the people that you've known the longest in the shop. So don't just keep on holding things in. You know what I'm saying? I know you don't want to feel like, oh, woe is me, and having people feel sorry for you, but them are like your brothers, and let them in when you're going through something. Don't have that shit bottling all up to the point where you handle it, in the wrong way. So anyways, we're back in 113th. Shit finally comes back, and C's is like, oh yeah, did you tell Nikki that y'all done or whatever? And Shit is like, no, me and Nikki are still together. And they like, and he's like, listen, but one of the reasons why I am back up here in New York is, of course, I have to make money, doing tattoos and everything. And I'm sorry, y'all, I've been fighting this cough for like the last week or so now. I feel like every time I go over to my godmom's house, I get sick or something, or semi-sick. So y'all forgive me for coughing or whatever throughout the video. But anyways, so besides him, coming back up there to make some money, he's trying to also reconcile with his other baby mamas. And, because he wants to get all of his kids together and them all that, and for them to all have a relationship with one another. And they all are looking like, you do know you have the craziest of the crazy baby mamas, right? I mean, honestly, like C's was, of course, giving the rundown of each type of crazy that they all are. But I feel like Coley, the white girl that he got, the daughter with, that lives in Texas or whatever, I feel like she's the most sane out of all of them. So when he was trying to say that she was crazy, I was like, I mean, I feel like she's the most sane out of everybody. I'm just saying. But anyways, so then we have Jada and Donna. That they are still supposed to be roommates or whatever. So Donna tells, Jada the news that Mo asked her to move back in, and, Jada feels some type of way because her last roommate just kind of up and left, and, who's gonna pay your half of the rent and all this other stuff. Like, Jada was kind of being extra or whatever, and Donna was like, girl, like, I'll help you find a roommate and everything, and I got you, I'm just not gonna leave you hanging. And Jada is like, no, Donna, because and all this other stuff, and she walks out and leaves. And Donna is like, I mean, she could be a little bit happy for me, considering everything that I've been going through this past week or so now. I was like, yeah, Jada was kind of being extra or whatever, but I guess I could understand too. But yeah, I mean, whatever. So then we have oh shit, and he's with Nikki, and he meets up with Coley and his daughter Lulu. And like I said, Coley to me is the only one who acts right. I'm just saying, like, she the only one who got some type of sense, So Lulu, of course, she misses Achilles and everything. She hasn't seen him in a while, and you guys know Achilles is Kathy's son. So, he said the last time he's spoken to Achilles was, back in April, and then he's saying how he hasn't seen Anya, the black girl. He hasn't seen Anya in about a year and everything. And he was like, the last time he saw her, she took the baby from his arms, and, how pretty much she's dead. I mean, pretty much how he's dead to her and all this other stuff. And, he wants Coley to reach out to his baby mamas and everything. And Coley is like, you're an adult. You're grown. Like, you reach out to them, you know what I'm saying? And Coley and Nikki are encouraging him to like call them up on the phone or whatever. So he does. He calls Kathy first and leaves her like a voicemail or whatever. And they like, okay, that's cool, So now reach out to Anya. And he's like, well, I ain't got her number, and she done blocked me on social media and everything. And then Coley, she goes and checks to see her social media to see if she's blocked. She sees that she's not blocked, and so she says that she's going to reach out and everything to Anya. I'm sorry, y'all. Then we have Sky and C's. Now, earlier in the episode, Sky did meet with a fertility doctor or whatever in regards to her having a baby and, you know, what her options are or whatever. And yeah. So her and C's, they're like in a club and everything, and he's trying to figure out why they're there. And she's like, you know, because I'm trying to find my sperm donor. And he like, what? In a club? Like, are you serious right now? And not only are they in the club, they're in a gay club on top of that. And C's, he's like, say what? And she feels as though a gay man would be more with, being her sperm donor than a straight man would and everything. And I'm just like, I don't know what to say about this shit. Like, I feel like this shit is for TV because I really just could not take this shit seriously. It's just, I can't. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so, she pretty much wants C's to go out to the dance floor or whatever to find her some guys, you know, kind of finesse them a little bit to, you know, talk to Sky or whatever. So he brought up two guys to talk to her in their VIP section or whatever. And one of the guys has, you know, 2 kids and the other one has 4 kids. And she's like, you know, I don't want no community dick or whatever and everything. So then, the next guy that she talks to, he's from Atlanta or whatever. So, you know, immediately she's like, oh, yes, you know, because y'all know they say it's a lot of, you know, gay guys in Atlanta or whatever. So that's why she was just, you know, so hyped up. And she's asking him all these questions, and it seems like everything is checking out. And, you know, she's like, dude, would you like to procreate? And he's like, I mean, at some point, yeah, but not really with you. But before he could really get everything out, she hushes him up and everything. And she's like, you know, that's all I need to hear. And then they're like, you know, doing the cheers thing with their glasses and stuff about, I guess, procreating together or whatever. I can't. I don't know what to say about this shit. It's just, I mean, like I said, you need to worry about the situation with your other son before you sit up here and try to have some more kids. And then, it's just like the way you've been acting these last couple of seasons, you don't even seem to be in the right state of mind to have a kid. And then you don't have a stable relationship with anybody. Like, I cannot. Yeah, moving on. We just gonna move on, okay? So we're back at 113th real quick. You know, the crew decides to have like a welcome back party for Donna and everything. And, you know, she's happy to see them. She's happy to be back at work, but she has a client already. And I said, okay, Donna. So she does the tattoo for the client. And I'm like, the tattoo it wasn't bad. It wasn't, I mean, at least from what I could see, this is probably one of her better tattoos. Okay, Donna, let me find out you've been practicing or something, you know? So then we have, you know, Teddy, and Walt. He's taking Walt to pretty much like this AA meeting. You know what I'm saying? And you know how it is, you know, when a person goes to AA and, you know, everybody goes around the room and tells, you know, who they are and, you know, their story, you know, and their history with alcohol and everything, you know, that whole ordeal. So Walt starts to tell his story and, you know, about his kids and everything, this, that, and the third. And Ted, you know, tells him how, he tells, you know, the group how he knows Walt and, you know, pretty much that he's there to support him and everything. And so, you know, Walt, he also talks about the fact that he's, you know, a photographer and, you know, he hasn't really had the inspiration ever since he's been going through everything. he hasn't really had like the inspiration, to do anything. Instead of picking up his camera, he rather pick up a bottle or whatever. And somebody else that's there is a photographer, and is telling him, his experience or whatever, this, that, and the third. And Walt realizes that it's probably better for him to pick up a camera versus picking up a bottle or whatever. So like I said, Walt, just keep your head up. Everything's gonna be fine. you know um you better start talking to people more, goddamn it. Don't be sitting up here wilding out and shit and drinking yourself to death. But anyway, so yeah, then we have shit meeting up with his baby mamas. Of course, Coley is the first one to show up. Of course, you guys know Nikki is there. She lets them know that Anya is not coming, and she still don't want him to have contact with their daughter. And I'm just like, that's fucked up. That's really fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, of course, oh shit, we know he got his shit with him too. And I feel like he definitely needs to fight harder to see his kids. You know what I'm saying? He needs to fight harder, even if it entails him going to court or whatever, this, that, and the third. He needs to, try to fight harder. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so Kathy, she comes. It's awkward at first, and Coley, she kind of tries to break the ice about how, they miss Achilles and everything, this, that, and the third. And, Kathy is like, okay, well, what does that have to do with me? Like, oh shit, you have visitations and you have half custody or whatever. You could just see him when you want to see him and everything. And oh shit, it's like, you ain't gonna let me or whatever. And Kathy is like, that's a motherfucking lie. Shit is like, you haven't let me see him in like, almost a year or whatever. And shit is like, the only time you really contact me is for money for him, and how I'm not an ain't how I'm an ain't shit father or whatever, this, that, and the third. And then Nikki, she kind of jumps in and is like, why'd you ask for sole custody or whatever? And I mean, I don't know, because I don't have these type of problems. I ain't got no kids, none of that. I ain't married nobody. I don't know. Did Nikki need to kind of jump in to the situation at that point? Or do y'all feel like she should have just, stayed quiet? I don't know. I mean, y'all let me know y'all opinion on that. But yeah, she's like, so why you ask for sole custody or whatever? And Kathy is like, yeah, because you haven't seen him in 11 months and everything, so blah 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 blah. And Kathy, she's over it and she leaves. And Coley, she tries to chase after her, and Kathy, of course, she gets back in crazy Kathy mode, and she's yelling or whatever, this, that, and the third, and how she never stopped them from seeing each other, and blase, blase. But Nikki, and this is what I did like with Nikki, she told, oh shit, listen, you need to go out there and apologize and accept some of the blame for your part in the situation, and like I said, I did like that. I did like that she, told him to, be the bigger person and apologize, because like I said, oh shit, got his shit with him too, okay? So he goes to the car that she's in or whatever, and he kind of takes ownership for his part in their turmoil. And how he did let his anger with her get in the way of, seeing him or whatever, seeing Achilles and everything. And, she pretty much just tells him that, Achilles still loves you the same. And he told me, like, if you see my dad, tell him, I'm not mad at him. I still love him the same, whatever, and, if you're really serious about this, just come by and see him and everything. And that was the episode, y'all. I'm sorry. I felt like this shit was kind of lackluster. The episode was kind of lackluster. I see next week Sky and Donna going to get into it. I'm not going to lie. I knew it was going to be kind of a matter of time before them two kind of got into it again. But yeah, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys come back, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, y'all. Bye.